is how I use reference track with metric AB. It's a go-to of mine, for sure. I'm gonna show you guys how I use it. Let's get right in it. Boom, bam. So I use this metric AB plugin right here. You don't have to use this. Just use a regular EQ, just like match volumes that way. Use reference tracks. The only thing with that is it might be hard to match the volume to just get them on the same level. It might be hard to do that with your ears, so you might not get the best reference if you're just trying to match volume peaks. But yeah, metric AB, this is what I use. This is how the software looks inside of it. The latest version of metric AB, when you open it, the first window that you're gonna present it is this playback window. Very important window. You get to choose the clip of audio that you want to reference to. So obviously there's a whole song here, but from my experience, I mean, you're not just gonna like listen to a whole song just to reference to make like one part like a 10-second of your song to be like leveled with that part. It's just not, you know, it doesn't make sense. So you're probably like whatever 10-second clip, you're probably gonna use like a 10-second or even 20-second clip, you know, just to run it through to make sure that volumes are matching. Basically every 8 bars of mine is a little different, so it's about 20 seconds long in my project. So I try and get pieces of audio that are around that 20 seconds. If I can't match volume, I just want to make sure like for the whole bar that I'm just like, I can take the whole 20 seconds just to match volume. But basically I take these 20-second clip and I get a piece of audio that I know has been professionally mixed and mastered, and that sounds good. So I found this beat off YouTube. It's a very reputable music producer, huge channel, so I know this professionally mixed and mastered, performed very well on YouTube. You're choosing your piece of reference audio. You really want to make sure that you're choosing a piece of audio that you know has been professionally mixed and mastered, preferably has performed well in the industry. So then you know like people like, and that it had to have been performed well. So you get like a Drake type sample, I don't know, sample like Do Not Disturb, put that in your DAW, and that's that to your Drake type beat, you know, just to make sure that's like it's the best quality possible and that people like that type of sound. In metric AB, you can make sure that like, you know, obviously only this part is selected, which is good because then this part I know kind of has like, it's like its chorus of this song. So I want to do that and cut this part of the chorus and then measure it to my chord. It's just preferred that you reference like the 2 beefiest parts, and so you're not one verse part that has like nothing in it. So like your chorus, your balances just don't sound the same with all the instruments incorporated. Yeah, but obviously it does sound the same. If you pick your chorus and your references chorus, you're gonna be golden. What I do is I open this up, find the clip, so you can just zoom in here and you can find out where you want this to start. So I want it to start right here. So I got that, and this part that I started at was obviously the beginning of like the chorus part of where it dropped, and this part right here is just to stretch it out long enough so I have enough time before it loops again, volumes or whatever I'm trying to match. And so yeah, and you can definitely play around with this where it stops, and then this button right here, if you choose the spot where you want the breath to stop right here, just click it so it wouldn't be cued right here, click it, and so then it would create this loop, and so when it gets to right here, it's just going to loop. It's going to loop again the reference track, so you're not like just listening to again ongoing music, you're trying to reference this one little part of music. So yeah, so what you want to do is you plop that in, cut the part that you want to reference, and then to match the levels themselves, instead of using your ear like you would with a regular EQ, you want to just go to the part where like, so this is the start of my chord, this is the start of this chorus right here. What you want to do is you would then play it, go ahead and toggle your reference one. So this is obviously the blue part. The blue means that you're toggling your project, so you're going to hear your project, this is turn blue. Purposely made it super at a level, and when this is toggled orange, you're gonna hear the reference track. But what you want to do is you want to play the project first and then click the match, and then after you play it, just click this, and then it's going to match the volumes. So 3.4 decibels down. So that means that to make these tracks the same level, this software made this reference track 4 decibels quieter just to match the level so they're at the same level. So yeah, after that, the most important window is the window right next to the playback. So you go right here, once you have it all matched, you go to the spectrum window and then go ahead and toggle your beat sound. So now you're done with the other reference track. You don't have to click it at all. But it's very important to click this layer button right here. So this way, instead of just seeing right here the peaks and frequencies of your beat or this beat, and just having like a dual or whatever you want to do, layered, super beneficial, because then you can see where the peaks are in relation to one another, which is super beneficial in the sense like when you want to go ahead and match peaks, you can just see it and go ahead and literally just raise volume of peaks until they match each other. And then our rim always, I just know from experience, frequencies, it hits around right here. So I'm not gonna do every sound for you guys, it might take a little bit, obviously, but for this part right here, this is my rim. And so you see how there's this little space right here between the blue and the orange? We're just gonna increase the dBs until these match enough, because like each each sound are gonna have different frequencies in them, so the levels aren't going to match like literally like on top of each other in terms of like lines that I'm seeing. But yeah, the whole goal is to increase the dBs enough so that these match on top of each other enough. So with this right here, I'm just gonna increase this volume right here until I see them match good enough. As you can see, like right now they're already on top of each other. Yeah. As you can see, it looks obviously way better, way more matched than what we were before, as you can see. And that's the whole thing, just to get these reference tracks. The purpose of using these reference tracks is to get your track close sounding in terms of levels to these reference tracks. Now, obviously, just to copy the exact sound, the exact levels, you might not want to do, just because each beat might go for a certain sound for like this artist. Or maybe they're going for this type of sound that involves hi-hats being like super way out of, you know? Maybe that's just what the artist wanted at the time, so you want to keep that in mind. But the whole purpose of using reference tracks like this is just to copy the levels and match the levels of your track. And again, that's what made my production so much better. It's incredible. Just like beat isn't mixed and mastered, but if the beat initially isn't even mixed well, you can say goodbye to any rapper wanting to rap on it. It doesn't matter how good like the sound selection was or how good the arrangement is. It doesn't matter what VSTs you use. It doesn't matter the crazy chord progression, the crazy vocal sample. If the beat doesn't sound good just from the mixing and mastering, just from the leveling, you can say goodbye. Like leveling is so easy, but it's also very easy just to undermine, forget about, and just think that it sounds good. So I really recommend you take the time to use reference tracks. And I use metric A/B just because it makes the whole process so seamless. I used to use just free EQ too, and I used to just load up the reference track and just single it out right here, and then just like try and lower the level of the reference track to match my project. Super headache, because sometimes it wouldn't even be matched, so then my levels of my beat weren't really where the reference track was. Metric A/B makes it super seamless with this match button. Amazing. And then it makes it super easy to see the level of both the reference and your track, so you can match the peaks. Makes it super easy. It's kind of like that span VST. Know about that one, but yeah, I super recommend metric A/B to anyone who even tries to mix and master their beats, which I would assume to be the majority of you folks. But if you do outsource mixing and mastering, awesome. For you folks who do not, I would highly recommend using metric A/B to reference your track. Basically, if you folks don't use reference tracks, I super recommend using them. Super helpful, and metric A/B makes the whole process super simple, super seamless. Get like a chorus length, chop your chorus length of the reference track, and so that you can just like your track and the reference track for the same amount of time, and then just have that, you have like your same chunk. So yeah, you just like loop that, and then you want to play the track, and then you want to click that match button. I'm telling you, I used to use the EQ, just like drop the level of my reference track when I was popping in the DAW. Didn't do the trick. Most of the time, I wouldn't even be able to match the volume. It's just like crazy how helpful that match. That's really like the gem of that whole plugin. So yeah, just press that match button. I mean, yeah, at that point, it's really just all about matching the volumes of the peaks of the sounds that you're gonna use. The hi-hat and the rim that I used in my beat. Just knowing like where those things, just from experience, I know which frequency spectrum to look at. So you can just raise the volumes like super high, just like the sound pop out, and you can just like, again, just adjust the levels to the reference track the best. Should be pretty easy. Metric A/B, amazing plugin, super recommend it, and that's how I reference track. Please try it out. It's time safe. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for rocking me in this video. I love posting videos like this where I show how I use certain plugins. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Definitely helps the channel out. See you on the next one. Doses.